So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Here's our lecture, our tutorial on 3D. Right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all the basic commands, and I'll show you how you can use those basic commands to make even the most difficult object that we have done in this course. Right? I can show you how to make even that most difficult object in some few simple steps. Okay, but first you need to know the basic commands of 3D. Before we start with any command, what I want you to do is I want you to look here at the top right corner of the screen. Do you see this, guys? So north, south, east, west, and you see here it says top. Okay, and you'll see here XY. This is by default. هذا هو الافتراضي. This is the default. AutoCAD always has XY plane as the top plane. Okay? XY plane is always the top plane. Now, if you see here, I'll take the mouse to this corner and you see it lights up. This lights up, right? You see all of them get highlighted. I'm going to click at the corner between south and east. So when I click on this corner, the screen, the camera will rotate, and we are now in 3D view. We are now in isometric view. We are in isometric view. Okay. I said I would select the corner between south and east, but actually I could select any corner. So this is one corner, another, the second, the third, the fourth, right? I could even have down here the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. I can have 8 corners, and even I can have, you see this edge? I can see the object like this. Okay? But usually my work is in the south and the east isometric view. Why south and east? Because you see this, what does it say here? Top. And this is the front and this is the right. This is how from the beginning of the semester I have taught you to look at the object, right? This is what we call third angle view. This is the third angle view, where the top is here, the front is here, and the right is here, right? If we look at it this way, with the top, front, and the left, this is called first angle view. This is called first angle view, and its multi-view will also be different. It will be top, front, left. Okay, so some countries have this first angle view. Most countries have the third angle view. That's why in this course I always teach from the third angle point of view. Okay, so always for me, this is the top, this is the front, this is the right. Okay, and so that's how you should do it as well in this course. Okay, but you can look at the object from anywhere. Okay, you can look at the object. These are all isometric views. What if I wanted to rotate it some other way? Press and hold shift. Shift. Okay, and if you have a mouse, this middle mouse button, do you see the middle mouse button? The mouse wheel. If you press the mouse wheel, you can rotate this in any other way, right? What if you don't have the middle mouse button? What do you do then? Okay, first of all, let me make an object here, and then we'll look at that 3D view. Okay, so guys, the other thing that you see here on the left side now, southeast isometric, because I am in isometric. Okay, but you see another thing here, it says 2D wireframe. This is called a visual style. Visual style, right? How does the object look? Okay, choose conceptual here. Click on conceptual. Everyone has conceptual visual style now, right? If you look at the XYZ, the XYZ now looks different, right? Green, red, and blue. Okay? I want you to type a command here. The command is, come on. The command is box. Okay. And hit enter. Everyone has the box command. As you can see, it says specify the first corner. Whenever it says specify first corner, it's actually looking for a rectangle. So if I click anywhere and move the mouse, what is it making? It's making a rectangle. Of course, we're looking at it in isometric view, right? So you see here, if you press tab, you can specify the distances, right? You can do all that. Sorry? But if you just click anywhere, خلاص, this is now a rectangle, right? What does AutoCAD say? Specify the height. So after making a 2D, you give it some height or some depth if you're going down. Click. That's a box, right? Now, I said those people who have a mouse with the middle mouse button, you can press shift, hold down shift, and with the middle mouse button, you can rotate this in any way you like, right? But what if you don't have the middle mouse button, or what if you don't have a mouse at all, you're working on a laptop? In this case, there is a command 3DO, 3D orbit, right? Yeah, it's there as well. You will find it here as well, right? Free orbit, continuous orbit, you can find it here as well. Okay, orbit. So if you press this orbit or you type 3DO, same thing. Now just click and you can turn. You can see this any way you like, right? If you do continuous object, it does this. Okay, so you can look at the object in any way. If you want to come back to isometric view, just click like this, you're back to isometric view. Remember, this is not isometric view, right? Is this an isometric view? No, look at this angle, right? This doesn't look like 30 من الأفق. This doesn't look like 30 من الأفق. They don't even look equal. This is dimetric or trimetric view. Okay, this is not isometric view. You want to come back to isometric, just click the corner and you'll come back to isometric. Clear?
Yes.
Alright. So you made a box. What else can you make? Well, these are some basic objects. Try CYL. Cylinder. Enter. What do? It says give me a base point. Click somewhere and it will make a circle. Okay.
But this radius or diameter?
Look at it. What does the yellow line show you? It's from the center to the edge. What is that? Radius or dia?
That's radius.
That's radius, right? So you have to specify the radius here. Okay. But you can always type D and enter. Okay. And now you can specify the diameter. Okay. So let's suppose I say 3. So now this is a circle of diameter 3 and I can give it some height, so I can make a disc or a cylinder of some kind, right? a basic object. What else? What else do I have as my basic object? Cone. Okay. Cone. Click. Create a circle. What else can we make? Sphere. S-P-H-E-R-E. Sphere. S-P-H-E-R-E. Sphere. Okay. S-P-H-E-R-E. S-P-H-E-R-E. If you type SPH, it should be enough. Yeah. Okay. What else can we make? P-Y-R.
Pyramids.
Pyramid. If I want to make sure that this pyramid, right now you see it's turning here and there. If I want to make sure that it's not turning, اضغط F8. That will lock the pyramid. Okay.
Yes.
Pyramid. What else can we make? W-E-D. Wedge. Okay. Make a rectangle and it will make a ramp. Okay. So we call this a wedge. This object is called a wedge. Okay. And finally, T-O-R. T-O-R. Torus. If you click somewhere, make a circle, click again. Okay.
Donut.
Basic objects. Basic objects. Okay. Now it's good if you know the text commands for typing these objects, for creating these objects. But let's suppose you don't know. Okay. Or you don't want to remember. Coming. So if you, can you see this this little gear icon here at the bottom?
Yes.
If you click on the arrow, you will see that there are more options here, right? So 3D basics, 3D modeling. You can choose any one of these. Like if you choose 3D basics, now you will see that these, you get all of these. You see box, cylinder, cone, sphere, pyramid, wedge, torus, and even one more, polysolid. Right? This is what polysolid does. Makes walls.
What is this selector?
Polysolid. Have it? I'll show you. You mean like this? See that? So these are the basic solids that you can make. Okay? Clear, guys?
Yes.
Now, let's continue. I'm going to make a box here of any size. And let me make a wedge. Also of some size, right?
Cancel.
I just made a box and a wedge.
But it's right. How I make it smaller.
I'll tell you. I just made a box and a wedge. Okay, guys, here, if you can look at this, please. When I click on this box, as soon as I click on it, it becomes blue, and you will see some blue dots here. You see those blue dots? I can catch this dot and pull it like this and make this longer. You see that? Okay. And you can see here two numbers. Do you see the two numbers? One is 13, the other is 39. If I say tab al-an and I say 40, then the whole object becomes 40. This is now 40. Okay? If I say tab and I say 20, the whole object now becomes 20. Okay? So let me just click on this handle, this blue handle. Click on this handle and then you can modify. If you click on this blue handle, what happens? You can change the height. You click on this blue handle, you can change something. But if you click on this one, right?
Doctor, it just move.
It can do it both ways. Now,
It just move or
no, it's not moving. It's stretching the object. This is a stretch.
what's the command?
There's no command.
No.
Just go to the blue dot,
Yes.
click on it, and move the blue dot. Okay?
Oh yeah.
So this will come for any basic object. This will come for any basic object. So for example, if I have a pyramid, right, and I click on the pyramid, okay,
How did you move?
I'll tell you. You see here, if I go to this dot, you see that? A pyramid is not just a pyramid. It can become something else. Right? Okay? So I made this object.
You press F8, right?
F8,
Right now, what is
yeah, F3. I removed the snapping for a little while.
So F8 and F3.
Yeah, F8 is to lock it in ortho mode. F3 is for snapping. Right? There you go. This is a different object now. It's not a pyramid anymore. Okay? What else can I do with a cone? Can I do something with a cone? Let's see.
So,
Okay? So using these blue handles, you can modify simple objects. Okay? You can modify simple objects. Clear? Alright. Now, as you click on any object, whenever you click on an object, you see this thing comes here. These three arrows, red, green, and blue. This is 3D move. 3D move. And what I can do is, I can click on any directional arrow and I can move the object in that direction only, right? So I can move it like this, I can move it like this, I can move it up or down, right? That's 3D move. I can even give it a specific distance, like if I click here and I say move by 20, so it will move exactly by 20. Okay?
Yes.
I can also use the normal move. I can use the normal move. So I can click on the object and I say M for move. Enter. Right? And I can catch this from a base point and I can put it somewhere else. Okay? So you can use the normal 2D move, you can you can use 3D move. Okay? Let's suppose I want to take this wedge and I want to put it inside, I want to put it exactly here in the middle of this object. How could I do that?
Can I just move a little side of it?
Right? The problem is I want to put this exactly in the middle here. I need to be able to catch the midpoint from there. I need to catch this midpoint. Okay? Now I could do this. I could go here and I could say move and I could catch this midpoint. But there is a better way. What is the better way? Change your visual style to wireframe. Now you can see even the inside of the object, right? And I'll say move. Select this object. Catch it from the midpoint. Make sure that it is the correct midpoint. This is the end point. I don't want the end point. I want the midpoint. Okay? Catch it from the midpoint and put it here on this midpoint. And in this way, you can exactly bring the object to the place that you want. You see? You see? Clear?
If my wedge is facing a different way than yours, how do I change its way of facing?
He's saying if my wedge is facing a different way than yours, how can I change it? Click on any object and type 3DR. 3DR, which is 3D rotate. Enter. And you will see 3 circles like this.
Yes.
Right? Each circle is a direction. When you touch the blue circle, it shows you a blue axis. The rotation will be around this axis. Okay? The rotation is going to be around this axis.
So I press on the blue.
Click on the circle. If you don't have F8 on, you can see that the circle, you can turn it at any angle, right? But please be careful here. If you just click anywhere and you don't know what the angle was, it's hard to bring it back. You have to do Control Z. Okay? But what if you did this rotation and then you did many other moves? Now you cannot do Control Z anymore, because Control Z will undo the previous step. Okay? So please be careful with this rotation. Many students make this mistake where they're going to click on this and they want to turn it 90 degrees. So what they'll do is taqreeban, they'll go like this, it looks like 90, and they'll click. But this is not exactly 90. Maybe it's 91 degrees. So then when they move it somewhere else, there is a mistake, right? So how can you escape this problem? How can you avoid this problem?
Yes.
Make sure that F8 is on, right? If F8 is on, you can only turn the object 90 degrees, 180, 360, right? 270, 360. You can only turn the object at right angles. Okay. So this, make sure F8 is on. Okay. Anyway, I have my object in a good place. I don't want to rotate it. But you see, guys, of course, there is a gap here. I want my object to go inside the other object. Right? I want the object to go inside the other object. How? Well, 2 units, let's suppose, like that. 2. I gave the value 2. I just put it inside. Right? Now, look at the object here. This object is still separate from this object. If you go to your visual styles, there's a visual style here called X-ray. If you click on X-ray, you will see that this object is inside this object. See that? Okay? But these are still 2 separate objects. What if I want to combine them? Join is a 2D command. It works for 2D objects. Here, these are 3D objects. Join will not work for them. Union is a command that will work. Okay? UNI, union. Click the object, hit enter. Now you can see it's all become one object. It's not union, UNI. Okay? So this is the union command. It can help you join objects. Okay? Leave this command till the end when you are sure you don't need to move the pieces anymore. When you are sure that everything is perfect, now I want to combine these into one object, then use union. Okay? This object now is not a simple object anymore. If I click it, you don't see any handles. Do you see any handles? No handles anymore. Because AutoCAD now doesn't know what this object is. Okay? So it's not a simple object. It's a complex object. It's a compound object. AutoCAD will not let you adjust this object. Okay? Of course, for union to work, one object must be inside the other object. Okay? So let's suppose I make a cylinder here. Right? Let's suppose I make a cylinder like this. Now this is an object and this is an object. Right? If I do union, maybe they will combine, maybe they won't. Right now they combine. Right? But let's suppose this object was not touching the other object. Could we do a union here? You can, but now this gap has become permanent. Right? There is a permanent gap here. Okay? So be careful when doing union. You have to make sure that the objects touch each other or are inside, one is inside the other. Right? For example, like this. Union. Okay? Clear? if I want to move this cylinder and I want to make its base exactly match up with the base of this cone, can I do that?
Can't you just move the entire
I want to put this cylinder inside the cone in such a way that the bases are matching up with each other. The base of this cylinder matches with the base of that cone. What can I do?
What do you do?
I've already shown you the move. If I want to take this cylinder and put its base on the base of this cone, what can I do?
Go to 2D.
Yes, go to 2D, right? And here I can select this, I can say move and catch it from the center and put it in this center. Right? Walaikum salam. Yes.
need key for lab.
Which lab?
Control.
Controls lab key is with Dr. Khalil Hijlawi.
خليها حفلة.
Yeah.
وين خليها؟
From here, left in the corner. So,
After that, join.
you see?
After that, onion.
No. I don't plan to do a union here. So this object is inside this object. Okay? If we look at the X-ray view, this object is inside this cone. Alright? Now, here's a new command for you. SUB. Subtract. Okay? Enter. Subtract. Min hadha. Enter. Subtract had. Enter. What will you get? You see that? What did you get here? There is a hole inside this object now. SUB, subtract, enter. Min hadha, enter, subtract hadha. It's like trim for 3D, you could say that. Not exactly trim. What subtract will do is it will take away the material of the second object from the first object, right? So this can be used to make cuts. So for example, if I have a box, or here I have this object and I make a cylinder. Let me rotate this cylinder. Okay, so you see now this cylinder and this object, right? Subtract, enter. Min hadha, enter, subtract hadha. Oh, a little bit is left here. What should I do? Yeah, I'll just move it so that it's passing through the whole object. And I'll say subtract, enter, min hadha, enter, subtract hadha. And I'm able to make a cut like that. How many times have you seen in how many objects cuts like this, right? So that's how you can make that cut. We have a nice complicated looking object here. It's not complicated actually, it's pretty simple. Okay? So subtract, union and subtract. Okay? We did 3D move, we did 3D rotate, we did, what else did we do?
Union.
Union, subtraction, and we learned how to create basic objects, right? all of this looks like, wow, we did a lot of 3D. But actually these are the basics of 3D. Okay? There are commands that can let you make even more complicated objects. Right? So I'm going to give you a command here. First of all, let me go to the top view and let me make some shapes. So let me make a rectangle. Let me make polygon, POL, polygon. It says enter the number of sides. How many sides do you want? 6, let's suppose. Click, click, click. It's a 2D command. I never taught you this command. Today is the first time I'm using it. Okay, polygon. Let me make another one. Let me make a circle. And let me make another one. Ellipse. Click, click. وهذا بيضاء.
What is its name?
Ellipse. Rectangle you know, circle you know. Ellipse and polygon. 2 new commands that were in 2D. We didn't discuss them, we didn't use them before. Okay? Done? Done?
Yeah.
Everyone is quiet.
Yes.
Done? Alright. Now I'm going to use a command here which is called extrude. EXT. Ready? EXT. Enter. And I'll select this square. See what happens to this square. Okay? Enter. What is this doing? Making it 3D. It took the 2D shape and it gave it some height or some depth, just like box, right? Again, EXT, extrude. What happens if I extrude a circle? It will become a cylinder. طيب, this is easy, this is easy. I could have made this with box. I could have made this with cylinder. But what if I do EXT, extrude, and I extrude this? Not a diamond shape, but this will give me a hexagon shaped object. And what happens if I extrude this? This will give me an oval shaped object, right? Any shape that I have, as long as it's not very sharp, as long as it doesn't have sharp points,
Such as?
as long as it doesn't have sharp points, it's a smooth shape, I can use extrude and I can give it some depth. And I can make a 3D object out of it. Repeat what precisely?
The line.
That line, how did I leave that? That's a whole other command. SPL, spline. Spline is special line. right? What is spline? Click somewhere, click another place, and you can make a curve out of it. Click, 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 click. Right? You must close the spline. You must end at the same place where you started. Okay? But if I have this, I can extrude this. Okay. The shart, there is a condition for extrude.
Doesn't have rough edges.
There is a condition for extrude, guys. I'll let you play with this a little, and then I'll give you the condition for extrude. Tell me when you are ready, okay? Is your mobile still recording? Wow, cool.
Stop.
No, it's up to you. I'm just waiting for people. Ready, guys? Guys in the back? Ready? The conditions for extrude. What are the conditions for extrude? Number one, it must be a closed shape. Will this extrude? It's extruding, but what it's making is
Line.
it extruded just that line. This is not a solid object. This is just a surface. هذا سطح. If you have a surface, guys, surfacing is not part of this course, please. Okay? Please note, surfaces are not part of this course. So if you give me a surface, I have to give you 0. In the evaluation, if you give me a surface, I have to give you 0. Okay? Don't give me surfaces. You must make sure that you have an object, not a surface. Right? This is not acceptable. So what's the problem? I have to trim? Okay, let me trim this, trim this. Can I do this now? EXT. Is that correct? No, it's wrong completely. These are still surfaces. Right? These are still surfaces. We cannot do anything here. Okay. Union is a 3D command. What you need to do is join. When you join, now it becomes all one polyline, one fixed. If you extrude this polyline, that's a solid. Okay? So you must join before you extrude. If you don't join, if your join does not work correctly, then you have problems. Okay? So for example, let's suppose I have this now. Right? Let's suppose I have a rectangle. This is fine, right? But then I make a circle. And then I say trim this and trim this. You see the problem? This is separate now and this is separate now. So I must join them before. If you have a line on a line, if you have another line here, for example, from somewhere, this may cause problems with joining. Right? In this case, no, it was okay. The line didn't cause a problem. But sometimes if you have a line on a line, this may cause problems with joining. So please be careful. Right? Another way to join, right? Another way to join, like let's suppose I have this. I've made some curves, right? Some arcs. Okay, let me show it to you from the top view. I've made some arcs. You can make circles if you like. You don't need to make arcs. Let's suppose you make a circle here, and another circle here, and a third circle here. And let's suppose I only want this part here. Okay, I just want this part, هذا. Right. What I can do is, I'm going to show you some moves. Okay. So I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to change the color. I need my I need to change the color. I'm going to change the color to one of the basic colors. Please use one of the basic colors, okay? Don't use the colors from here. Okay, so I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to make the color this basic red. Okay? Now there is a command that I can use, BO. Boundary. Enter. And boundary will ask me to pick some points inside. Okay. So if I click here, boundary here al-hudud. So if I click, for example, inside here, what will I get? You see that? I get that object. Now, where is that object? Well, if I right click and I say quick select, quick select. Okay. So he says apply to the whole drawing, everything, everywhere. Naam. And I changed the color because of this plan. I'm going to select كل شيء على أساس اللون. I'm going to say quick select color equals red. And this is why I said use the basic colors. Okay? If you use some other shade, then you will not be able to select it here. Okay? So select the red, and I'll say okay. It will select everything that is red. Alright? And then I can just delete it. Where did my boundary go? BO. Pick points. This one. The boundary is also red.
Yes.
Let me make it by layer. Okay. So now, quick select. كل شيء أحمر, everything red. Delete. And my boundary is left. Right? Now you could say, oh, well, Engineer Fahad, why are you giving us all this? We could just have trimmed everything. Right? We could have just trimmed everything. And I would get this shape. Sah? Well, yes, you could have trimmed everything and you could have got that shape. So, let me show you the true usefulness of this command. Remember these objects? Wow, it takes so much time just to open this. Amazing. Remember these objects?
Yes.
Yes.
So let me remember these objects? These were in your evaluation. No?
No.
These were in your evaluation?
Yes.
Cool. Then we can use these objects, right? Anyway, so look at this object, right? I'm going to make the right side view of this object. Okay, let me zoom in a little. How can I zoom in? Where is it? No,
Beside the...
this one? No, that's rotate.
No, it is not.
This is, this one is a zoom. Okay. This is horrible.
Is it?
Yeah. Cannot pan, cannot do anything. Anyway. Even I don't see all the symbols. Okay, here we go. So let me try to make this view here. Okay. What do I see? 90, and the height for this one is 33. Right? So let me go here in AutoCAD. Let me go back to my old 2D wireframe, right? Old style. And let me make a rectangle here, which is rectangle 90 by 30, you say? Zoom all. 90 by 33. Okay, fine. Rectangle 90 by 33. Okay, 90 by 33. And then this one now, how can I make it? هذا 60. This is 60. And the height is 40. So what I can do is, I can make a line from here and press F8 and give it a height of 40, right? Zoom. And I can make another line here, which is 60. I can take this line and move it from the midpoint and put it here. And then I can join from here to here and from here to here, right? And now this cut here, this circular cut, its dia is 40, right? So I can make circle here with a dia of 40, and I can trim, right? So I made that shape. Okay, I can take all of this and make it red, and I can say BO, boundary, and I can pick this point inside and inside. You see, this is a separate boundary and this is a separate boundary. I didn't have to make it all over again. Do you understand? Now I can say quick select everything which is red, and I can do whatever I want with that red part. You see here? This is a separate line. This is a separate line. No need to join. No need to do anything. Right? I don't need these lines anymore because I have these boundaries now. What can I do with these boundaries? I can say 3D rotate. And I can catch them and rotate them. And then what can I do? This is 64. So I can go here and I can say extrude by 64. And I'll have this box. And this one is 48. So I can catch this one and I can say extrude by 48. Now this doesn't look correct. Right? What can I do? Move. if you don't like, if you're not able to see the points, move, catch it from this midpoint and put it on the midpoint of this object. Now that looks better. Union هذا مع هذا. I'm done. Am I done? There is a cut here which is 34 by 14. Okay. Box العرض 34. الطول no, غير مهم. It should just be longer than the object. الارتفاع 14. العرض والارتفاع مهم، الطول غير مهم. Okay. I'm just going to make this object red so that you can see it clearly. Otherwise there's no need to make it red. And I'll say move. I'll catch it from the middle point here. I'll put it here. Right? And maybe if I like, I'll just move the object to make sure it's going through everything. Clear? Let's do subtract. From this, take away this. There's the gap. Okay? Anything else missing? Two more gaps here. Okay. How can I make this gap? Its height is 25. Its width is 16. Does the length matter?
No.
Box. Length does not matter, but the width is 16. The length, I don't care about it. It just needs to be very long. The height is 25. So I must have this height. Again, for your convenience, I'm going to make this red or green so that you can see it clearly. What am I going to do? Catch it from this midpoint and put it up here on this midpoint. Is this good? No, I need to make sure that it's passing through the object. If you see this is bothering you, turn off F3, turn off the snap. Okay? When you turn off the snap, it will not snap anywhere. Okay? So place this and then turn it back on, F3 again. Okay? So now let's look at this. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Everything is in the center. So I can just do a subtract from this, remove this. Done. Anything else? This part? It has a depth of 8 and here it has a depth of 9 and it has here 28. What can I do? 28 and you see here this is 16. Right? Box. How much is the width of my box? 28. How much is the depth of my box? 16. Do I care about the height? I don't really care about the height. It could be anything. It just needs to be very long. What am I going to do with this object? Move هذا من الميدبوينت إلى where? هذا الميدبوينت. Why? Why did I move it there? I put it like this. Why did I move it here? Guys? لازم قدام. I know the distances from here. كم أنزل? How much should I come down? 9. I should come down by 9. So let me just go here and I'm going to move in this direction. 9. Okay, so now you can see I have come down by 9. Right? And then move it this way. 16. So I put it in a point, in a place from where I know all the distances. I know how much to move this exactly. Right? and so you see here الآن هذا يدخل جوا. I need to make the same thing on the other side,
mirror.
right? So I can use 2D mirror. I could also use 3D mirror. There is a 3D mirror as well. 2D mirror يحتاج إلى خط التناظر. 3D mirror needs سطح التناظر. كيف نحدد سطح؟ لازم يكون عندنا 3 نقاط. We must have at least 3 points. والشرط هي أن هذه الثلاثة ليست على نفس الخط. الثلاثة ليست على نفس الخط. على الأقل واحد منهم لازم يكون على مكان غير هذا الخط. Otherwise it's just AutoCAD only knows a line. It doesn't know the surface. Do you understand this point? تحديد السطح يحتاج إلى 3 نقاط وعلى الأقل واحد منهم ليست على نفس الخط. Clear? So I'm going to give this command here 3D MI 3D mirror. Okay? What are the points that I can take? No. Please, no. Okay, here we go. Select the object. أول شيء, what do you want to mirror? I want to mirror this object. Enter. What are the 3 points that I can take? Can you suggest some 3 points for me? I should be able to pick them easily with my snap. وطبعا السطح التناظر سيكون في وسط الجسم. Right? So, which points should I take? I can take this midpoint here. Should I change the... Let me bring it like this, okay? 3D MI, 3D mirror. Where is the object? هذا هو الجسم. Enter. Which are the points? هذا الميد-point. وهذا أيضا mid-point. وهذا أيضا mid-point. So you see, هذه